excitement is building at the River Falls Public Library. We have a color palette selected now, and I want to give you a little bit of perspective on how we chose a color palette and what the thoughts were behind it. So this building is very reminiscent of the arts and craft movement, which is a very, very beautiful American architectural style that's very simple, and the colors are natural. They reflect the natural world. And River Falls really is very connected with the environment, the sustainability movement. It's a really cool thing. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't offend the reminiscent architectural style of the building, and also be reflective of the community's connection to the earth. So for the most part, we chose very earthy colors and very neutral colors for the flooring and some of the countertops, but for the paint on the walls, we tried some very interesting earthy tones, and it's actually pretty colorful. A lot of the organizations or institutions that are building right now have a very neutral palette. This is going to have a neutral palette, but it's going to have some pop color to it, which is super fun to play with. So this is our color palette. And then I'm going to take you down here to look at some of the neutral parts of it. So we can't have all color because we don't want anybody to get too dizzy when they come in the library. We have these earth tones in the carpet. We have new tile for the bathrooms. There's a really beautiful coffee station that we're making, and it's got this beautiful tile along the back. It's just gorgeous. We have, for the Big Fun Lab, we got a special type of flooring, which has a spongy feel to it. So we can try to make that a little safer environment during the 3 months out of the year that we have the Big Fun Lab. We have some vinyl flooring too that will extend into the entryway and under the coffee station. I think one of the coolest parts, well, there are a few cool parts. The service desks will have a little bit of this glass appearance in some features, and those colors, I don't know if you can see them here, but they are absolutely gorgeous. There's a shade of blue, here's another shade of blue and a green color. Then as you go into the children's area, which is going to be super exciting, the pillars are going to be covered in this to look like a tree trunk. And then up high along the ceiling, we have these sound deadening materials that are going to be in huge discs of different sizes to look like trees. So that you'll have this pillar and you'll have this beautiful tree appearance with these fun colors. And then where we have, I'll refer to it as the circus canopy up above. Those colors will be neutral, look more like the sky. And then we have these sound deadening colors that will be vaguely in the shape of birds up above. And these two, it's very playful and beautiful. We're really excited about the children's department in that area. So here you can see the beautiful color palette that we have to look forward to. Yeah, we're going to go through some interruptions in service and some loud banging and maybe some disappointing closes on a temporary basis, but this is going to be absolutely gorgeous when it's all done. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a look at the floor plan, which is also very fun and clean. When you walk in the library, there'll be a little window where the book drop is, so kids can look into the back room and see the automated material handling system, that conveyor belt go, and that will definitely be a hot spot for fun observation. Then you're going to come on into the library. If you go into the meeting room, this large meeting room will have a flexible wall that can open and close. We're always in need of more meeting room space, and sometimes we have small groups and we only have a big space. Sometimes we have a big group and we only have a small space. So having that flexibility in this design is going to be very helpful for meeting the needs of the community. So again, we'll be able to pull that open and closed, and we'll have some upgraded technology in here. As you walk into the main part of the library, the first thing you're going to see instead of the service desk is this coffee station. and some book shelving that we're intending to use for our book sale items. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm holding here is, this is the cabinetry, and this is the countertop, and this is that back wall of tile that goes the full length of it. It's super shiny and pretty, and there'll be some pendant lights hanging down. It's going to be a really, really nice coffee station. So if you look over here, you can see this is the main service desk. It's moved against the same wall, but it's moved a little further down. And the service desk will have this really neutral paint color. And here's the primary carpet that'll go throughout the library, but there is a little bit of variance in some other pieces, but this is the primary colors. This brownish color really pops off the woodworking, so that's one of the reasons we chose this as a backdrop. We wanted to stay neutral but still be able to draw in the woodwork. The service desk will be made out of this, and this is those color pieces that I told you would be built into the service desk, but also there's a really beautiful sign that will say River Falls Public Library behind the service desk, and it looks a little bit like the design of the arts and craft movement. So we can show you that, but it's really going to be pretty. And then here is your self-check machines, and your holds are right here. So it's all contained very well. Here are our new books. We're going to pull them away from the wall a little bit and so there's more room for seating and some better lighting, but there's still a similar flow to what you've had in the past. This is going to be our print station or business center where people can do all their paperwork, and there'll be a new copy machine over here. This section of the color palette is similar to what's in the coffee station to bring balance to the design. And then we still have our computer stations close enough to the service desk that we can help people. So if you remember before, they were located over here. We had to leave the service desk, go into a room to help people, and it was really inconvenient for the staff because we couldn't keep an eye on the service desk. And one of the intents of this floor plan is to be mindful of taxpayer dollars in the floor plan so we can be most efficient with our staffing. So again, we were able to help patrons here without losing an eye on the main service desk. This will flow very well. Okay, we're going to move over to this area here. This is currently the history area. The history area is going to be moved over here. We'll have a nice setup for people to appreciate local history and sit and look at yearbooks or what have you. But this area is hot real estate, and actually our history collection is one of the lowest circulating, so we wanted to make these spaces more useful. This will become what we're calling right now a tech nest. Some of these areas have naming rights, so if somebody were to purchase those naming rights, we would change the name, but right now we're calling it Tech Nest. And the purpose of this room is we have all this technology that we can circulate to the public. It is a lot, and it's not out in the public view. It's locked up. People can't see it, so the only place they know to find out what we have is to look online and see the list of technology that we had to check out. So we want to put it in a little bit more of an open area. Yes, it'll be locked, but there's windows here, and we'll have a list on the door of all the technology that you can access by checking it out at the River Falls Public Library with your library card. The cabinets will be this dark gray color, and the walls will be a neutral color. The next room over here is telehealth, which is going to be used for individuals connecting with their physicians. I've heard that they're really most popular for counseling sessions. So there are any number of kinds of doctors that people might be meeting with virtually in this room. It's a private room, and it will have a background of this beautiful sort of teal color, blue-green studio. Blue-green studio color, and that'll be the background. So if people have there'll be a TV monitor here, their doctor will be able to see them, and with this blue-green teal wall behind them. So from the telehealth room, we're going to continue on into the children's department. This was the computer lab in here. We're removing that because the computers are moved out here. The children's service desk will be nestled into that space where you would first come into the computer lab rather than parked over here sitting independently. This is the first place where you will see the beautiful tree features. So this again, that pillar is going to be wrapped in this tree-looking vinyl. And then these are the soundproofing colors again that will go up high in circular patterns, like circles. Big tree.
Yeah.
Then some of the color in the children's department will be a backdrop of this green. So now you're starting to see this beautiful earth tone show up.
The back wall where the main beautiful hand-done windows will be white around the trim work, and that softer green will be in on the sides as you're looking back. Up into the sky, I think Tanya referred to it as the circus tent a while ago, will be changed to this soft sky blue. And nestled inside the sky, these aren't the shapes, they're just samples, but I would say it's a series of different sized triangles that give the inspiration of birds, kind of an origami feel, but just angular and relaxing, and encourages imagination. Mm-hmm. And really makes a nice impact against the green circles. So we've got circles and triangles and plenty of squares.
Then if you look further into the children's department, there are a couple other pillars. Those two will be made to look like trees. The Children's Services Librarian's office is being moved to here. It's currently tucked over here, but we'll move it to here right next to the service desk. And then we have a quiet room that we're building into that space. That quiet room will have the studio blue-green.
A calming, neutral blue-green.
Yes. And that room is for lactating moms or through pumping or breastfeeding, whatever, and also for helping calm children who are overstimulated, or maybe they're tired and they need a nap. Whatever the need is, we have this quiet space to kind of go away from the public, close the door, and there'll be a nice sink in here. We'll have some sensory toys in cabinets here for the kids. It's going to be a great space. And then the family restroom, it was ADA compliant when it was first built, but we're going to expand it to be ADA compliant for today's standards, so it'll be a little bit bigger.
One of the spaces I'm most excited about is the changes we're making in the teen zone. This has been an evolution. Maybe you remember a couple years ago our teen zone was tucked around here. Not a lot of teens knew about it. Also not a lot of visual between the main desk and the teen area to get the children or teens help. So as we moved a couple years ago, we practiced having our teen zone here. This is going to stay in the new plan with the addition of some glass walls that help add some additional privacy, yet still allow staff to service and monitor the environment. Teens, especially middle school kids, need a place where they can go right after school. They can, a lot of kids can walk right from school or take the bus and stop here, and we encourage that. Providing a space for kids to just hang out with friends or attend one of our book clubs or craft events is a great opportunity for both the kids, the families, and really for the community. Inside the teen zone, we have some new furniture. They're cleanable, comfortable, more relaxing, teen-focused couches or lounging chairs that have portals right in the furniture for charging devices. We encourage kids to just come and sit with their friends, work on a craft, or read a book off the shelf. In the lower area of the walls, we're sticking with that clean white. Now remember, they're also going to be covered by a lot of shelving and books. Books themselves are colorful. So when we're showing you this white color over and over again, keep in mind there's a lot of color just inherently in a library. So it's not like you're going to walk in and just see a bunch of stark white walls. They'll be hidden behind the shelves. This blue is special to the YA area. It is only used in an upper soffit area, and it doesn't, at first glance, it's a real dark color, but it actually provides more of a comforting, grounding feel in the higher area. The ceilings in this teen zone are a little lower, and it creates kind of a nook area, so that helps ground it with everything else that's going on. Right here is a glass wall, and you can see here's the children's desk. It is a straight view, but yet kids can hang out in here and still have that privacy. They can be a little louder, it's fine. Above these shelves here, looking out into the library, are also glass panels.
Okay, so now we're going to go around from the teen area to what is now called the boardroom or the conference room. Again, we have naming rights available for it, so it may have a different name later, but this is basically a meeting room that is sometimes used for programs with teens, but primarily it's used as a meeting room. So right here is, right now, this wall. The other side of this wall is the children's librarian's office. This wall, literally, that I'm standing against is going to come out, and it's going to expand the boardroom because now we have bigger meetings. We have a great synergy between the Library Board of Trustees, which is the governing body, and the Library Foundation Board of Directors, which is a fiscal arm of service for the library. They do a lot of fundraising. And we've been working together to serve the community better. And when we meet, this room isn't big enough anymore. So having a bigger boardroom to create that environment is really important. So what I want to show you here is that you may not notice on camera, but these carpets are a little bit more tan than they are gray. So it's a change from the other carpets we were showing you, but it's very subtle. And you'll notice that this one has a little bit of a yellow tone in it. So this is going to be the carpet for the boardroom, and one of the walls will be this sort of a pop mustard color.
I like to call it goldenrod.
Goldenrod. Is it goldenrod?
Well, no, it's not, but that's what I named it.
Alice is keeping me straight with names. It's called peristyle brass. So this will be one of the colors on the walls. The other walls will be neutral. One of the beautiful things about the arts and craft movement, again, is the colors that you'll often see in the stained glass, and we've tried to pull some of that out in various locations in the library because we do have some beautiful stained glass if you walk around the library. You may never have noticed it before, but it's gorgeous. So that's the boardroom, and we're excited to see that change here too.
One cool thing about this, you're saying never noticed the stained glass, adding that white in more places rather than a lot of contrast color on the walls in some of the main areas is going to highlight those stained glass features, make it more special.
So leaving the boardroom, we will still have the same study rooms, the same size. They fit 1 or 2 people. There'll be no pop walls, just one neutral color, and they're basically the same, not changing. And then, but if you come around the corners here, this is a glassed-in group study room. This room will hold about 6 people. While we were planning this, we were often, if not always, reflecting on some of the needs of the community and how we needed to change to meet those needs. The study rooms are really, really popular, but they're small. So by adding these small group study rooms, we're able to serve a different group of people. This will be glass here. They'll have a nice table here with all the technology available to to do distance learning or webinars. Then on the opposite side here, we also have a smaller glassed-in study room, and that will seat 3, maybe 4 people. So we have 2 more opportunities to serve the public with meeting space.
I wanted to point out something about the glass. It is a filtered glass. It has a print over it that's strategically placed to add privacy to the room, but still allow people to see that, oh, there's feet in there, okay, people are doing stuff, but it allows light to flow, and it just creates a more welcoming environment. And I don't have a picture of it, but the glass, the filtering that we chose, has some striated vertical lines that are, I would say, reminiscent of like birch bark. It's quite beautiful.
So in the lower level, there aren't going to be a lot of changes. Obviously, we're going to do recarpeting and paint. This is the carpet. This is that more beige tone for the lower level. And the primary change is really the kitchen. We're expanding the kitchen. There's those weird like pie shapes. There's one here and there's one in the gallery. And they're really not very functional. What they really are is a jungle gym for kids. So we are expanding the kitchen instead, taking those out, and I'm going to give it over to Alice to talk about the kitchen.
We have a little swatch for the countertop. It's just a vinyl kind of marbleized white and gray neutral. Some flecks in there that are kind of fun. And then just a neutral, easy to clean, easy to hide dirt flooring. This is actually the darker. We have a lighter version that does appear other places in the library. But this is an in-between color, but you can see it's slightly lighter than this. Believe it or not, there's strategy behind that. This is going into the gallery space, which is sometimes used as meeting rooms, but sometimes used as an art exhibit place. And the colors you want in a gallery are very, very neutral, and they're a very specific gray that allows every color that sits in front of it to show its true self. So it's very important when you're choosing that, and that is why we went with this neutral gray. You might be looking at some of these color palettes and think, oh, it's so dreary. There's no color in there. I just have to keep reminding you that a library has plenty of color in its materials. A gallery is meant to expose the art and the history exhibits that we have. So some of those basic construction materials are going to be very neutral. And that's on purpose. You're not, when you come back in and it's finished, you won't be looking at an empty room. You'll be looking at all of the materials that we have to offer.
We are super excited about the renovation process that's about to happen. We have already moved our children's department downstairs to the lower level for the summer and maybe a few months after that, but that's kind of our staging area. Where we start and which rooms get renovated first is up to the construction company. So we don't know exactly how it's going to happen and what stages, but we know it's going to start July 1st. So get ready, River Falls. There's some changes happening.